Hello everyone, Ed from On My Turntable here. And for this episode of my channel, I wanted to try something a little bit different, something I'm calling at the moment, It's New to Me, where basically I'm going out and purchasing LPs by artists who I recognize the name, maybe know a band member or two, maybe know where they're from, but not familiar with their catalog at all, have never listened to it before, but given them a shot. And I'm purposely making sure that I don't read anything about them online, any music sites. I want to be able to buy it, listen to it fresh, and put my own opinions together and then do the research afterwards. So, with that, let's talk about the first record that I bought where it's new to me. And this is an LP from the band called The Rotary Connection. All I knew about the Rotary Connection when I picked this up was that they were from Chicago, that the founder of the band, Marshall Chess, was the son of Leonard Chess, who co-founded Chess Records with his brother, and that Minnie Riperton was a member of this band. So when I looked at this, I looked at the cover, I'm guessing, probably late 60s, early 70s. There's no data release on this sleeve. Look at the cover, very, very psychedelic, very groovy. You have the back cover here with some track listing and a picture of the band as well. And when I looked at the band, I'm thinking men, women, multiracial. I'm thinking back and forth vocals, Sly and the Family Stone. I'm thinking, a dance funk kind of record with that kind of back and forth interplay, horns, four on the floor beat, and something you could dance to. That's what I was thinking of when I bought this record. And let me just tell you, after I finished the first side of this LP, I already knew that I was way off, even less time, probably within 15 minutes. This definitely was not Sly and the Family Stone like. This is a very psychedelic record, a very dreamlike record. It plays like a whole mood suite from beginning to end, something you have to listen to from beginning to end for sure. It certainly was made, that was the intent, I could tell, and it was totally not what I was expecting. So they have some original tracks on here, and they also do some very interesting covers as well, and just totally change things up. So before I do that, I'll show you the label here. This is the Cadet Concept label. This actually came out in both a mono and a stereo pressing, and according to the sleeve, I actually have the stereo pressing here. Don't know if any type of inner sleeve or lyric came with it. I'm assuming not. Hence, just I have a plain sleeve here. So the way that this LP is sided, side 1 and side 2, it actually is called Trip 1 and Trip 1 Continued for the second side. So let's chat about what I was listening to for a little bit for the very, very first time. So the LP opens up with an original track called Amen. So right away, it is very 60s. Lots of sitar, like a lot of psychedelic, very high-strung guitars. And the lyrics to the whole song are just amen, 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 over and over again, over this sitar kind of guitar drone. And eventually the tambourines kicked in, and it goes very like the pace picks up a little bit, and it's almost like you're testifying and going to church. So that's the first track of this LP for just shy of 4 minutes. Then it goes into something totally unexpected called Rapid Transit for all of 38 seconds. And it basically sounds like Bernard Herrmann, like Psycho. Very sharp, quick, statico violin playing that goes on for 38 seconds. That's all it is. And then it transitions into the third track of the LP, which is another original called Turn Me On. This is a very dreamlike, mellow tune. Lots of theremin. There's a lot of theremin on this LP. This is the first appearance of it. Very, very almost like a waltz-like. Almost portions of this is kind of like in 3/4 time. And the lyrics just repeat over and over again. They basically say, I have my notes here, turn me on, I want to know what it's all about, and turn me on, tell me a love to speak about. That's all the song. That's all the lyrics for the song in the space of a little over 3 minutes. So you listen to that, and then you go into another track, which is all of 22 seconds, called Pink Noise. And Pink Noise, it pretty much is ocean waves, sort of a precursor to white noise, what we listen to today, sometimes to help us sleep. The white noise, those faux ocean waves. And that transitions right into the first cover of the LP, which is the Stones' Lady Jane. I've never been a big fan of Lady Jane. It's sort of like a poor man's Ruby Tuesday, if you ask me. But they pretty much do this in a very ethereal, very church-like, very choir-like type of structure. It's all women, very, very slow, very, very operatic. And then once again, we get that theremin in there for that instrumental. They certainly love that theremin on this record. So it's pretty straightforward. It's Lady Jane. But then the first side of the LP closes out with a totally revisionist cover of Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone. Now, I really had to listen to this to pick up that they were doing like a Rolling Stone. I had to play it a couple times. They actually don't even use all the lyrics. They just use a portion of the lyrics. I'm not going to tell you what those are, not what you think it's going to be, but it definitely is in there. It is definitely Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone, and that's how the record, closes out on the first side. It is very much a traditional guitar drone. It's a rocker, but it definitely is just, very, very repetitive and very, very hypnotic as it keeps going and going, going until it fades out and closes out trip one. So on trip two, which is side two, opens up with a cover of Sam and Dave's Soul Man. And this is actually, it kind of sounds almost to me very Broadway-like. They changed the tempo of the verse and the choruses. It definitely is Soul Man, but it sounds like it's something out of Hair. And I thought to myself, this actually could be an outtake from Hair. That's what it sounded like to me. Very, very Broadway-like. And then they have something on here for 44 seconds called Suzanne Mendes. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Once again, that's just like bells and sitar that transitions you over into the next track of the LP, which is really the only straightforward track on the LP. It's a cover of John Sebastian's Didn't Want to Have to Do It. This is done very straight. There's no sitars, there's no bells, there's no dreaded theremin. It's all pretty much straightforward acoustic guitar singing this John Sebastian cover. So pretty straightforward with that. Then we move on to something called Black Noise, which is just about 23 seconds of chanting, tambourines. And then we move on to the last original called Memory Band, which is pretty much just an instrumental. And you just have a lot of, voices, sound like a children's choir, just going la, 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 la. And that all goes on for 3 minutes and 46 seconds. So that is Memory Band. And then we move on to the last cover of the LP, another Stones tune. They actually do Ruby Tuesday. Just mentioned that before. They definitely do a really fun version of this. The verses are done very slow. The chorus is really, really sped up and aggressive with lots of tambourines. So their take on Ruby Tuesday is certainly very interesting. And the last track on the LP is called Rotary Connection. And I guess you could call it, well, I guess before there was a word for it, it's almost a mashup or maybe a sound collage. But in essence, it's a 2-minute edit of all the tracks on this LP, all put together, jumping all over the place. Time signatures don't matter. Cohesion doesn't matter. It's just a mashup, like samples of everything you heard previously. And that's how this record is. And that's the Rotary Connection, released in 1968. And all of this just clocks in just shy of 30 minutes. So this definitely is a very unique listening experience. And after I listened to it a couple times, I did some reading about it and found out when it came out, 1968. It was their debut LP. It actually cracked the top 40 of Billboard, number 37. And it very much is pretty much the description that I wrote for myself was what I came away with, was when I read some of the reviews online. It's very, very Baroque, very, very psychedelic, very dreamlike. It plays from beginning to end. It's all connected, being meant to listen to as one piece. And in some instances, folks say it should be up there with other psychedelic LPs of the day, that it holds up. And other folks say that it's kind of silly and doesn't hold up in places. I think it's pretty great. Some of this I actually really liked and really enjoyed. And for heck, for 30 minutes to have a little psychedelic, little low-key kind of groovy trip, it wasn't so bad. I actually kind of thought it was pretty good. So this was their first LP that I found out. I'm actually going to go and explore some more of their catalog and not read about those releases and the reviews on them until I listen to them myself first. So this was Rotary Connection, and it's new to me. So that's all that I had for this episode. I just wanted to kind of share some new things that I'm getting. Feel free to share your comments with me. I've had a lot of great dialogue with folks in the VC already, folks that have liked and subscribed, and we've commented back and forth. So let me know what you think about this record, if you know anything about it at all. I actually put a link down below because everything's on YouTube now, so you can listen to pretty much all of the tracks on this on YouTube. I think just a couple of the short little intermediate samples of sitar and bells and stuff is not there, but everything is on there that I chatted about, including that cover of Dylan Like a Rolling Stone. If nothing else, you should check that out because it certainly is very revisionist and very different, and I kind of like it. So with that, feel free to get back if you'd like. I'll do some more of these. Let me know if these interest you. Maybe it's a record you already have and you haven't heard in a while. It's going to have you pull it off the shelf and give it a listen. So once again, this is Ed from On My Turntable. Thanks for watching. Thanks for indulging me. And like I say before I sign off, with everything going on these days, let's all be kind to one another. Thanks, everyone.